Good evening. I'm Sean Atkins, Chair of the East Point Planning and Zoning Commission. At this time, I'd like to call to order our regularly scheduled December meeting. Staff, would you please sound roll call to establish a quorum?
Commissioner Lovett.
Here.
Commissioner Borders. Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Fan. Commissioner Atkins.
Present.
Commissioner Tucker. Here. Commissioner Sheldon. Commissioner McKnight. Commissioner Maxwell. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we take a moment for silence. Thank you. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Commissioners, at this time I entertain a motion to adopt our agenda as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that we adopt our agenda as printed. All in favor sound aye. All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Our December agenda is adopted. Commissioners, at this time I entertain a motion to approve our November 30th, 2017 meeting minutes.
I so moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Maxwell, seconded by Commissioner McKnight, that we approve our November 30th, 2017 meeting minutes. All in favor sound aye. All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. Our November 30th, 2017 meeting minutes are approved. Our next item on the agenda is new business. The first case is 2017 Z as in Zebra -015-011. Staff, would you please sound this agenda item?
Case number 2017Z-015-11. The applicant is David Fotzer. The location is 1307 East Washington Avenue. The applicant seeks to rezone the property from R1A, urban residential, to R3, multifamily residential.
Thank you. At this time, I'll read the rules for our public hearings. This agenda item, as well as the other two on our agenda this evening under new business, will require a public hearing. The rules will stand for all agenda items. Public hearings before the Planning and Zoning Commission shall be conducted in accordance with Section 10-2219 of the East Point Zoning Code and Development Regulations as follows. Persons both favoring and opposing the proposed case will be provided an opportunity to address the commission. The applicant for the zoning case or the applicant's designated representative, if any, will be entitled to speak first, followed by other speakers in favor of the proposal for a total of 15 minutes. Those who oppose the proposed zoning case will then be permitted to speak for a total of 15 minutes. By majority vote, the commission may increase the total time for speakers, provided that each side is given the same amount of time. If there is more than one speaker for a side, the chair or the presiding officer may limit the time allotted to each individual speaker other than the zoning applicant. The zoning applicant may reserve a portion of his or her allotted time for rebuttal. Speakers must adhere to the rules of decorum. Prior to speaking, each speaker shall state his or her first and last name and his or her current address. Each speaker shall speak only to the merits of the proposed zoning decision under consideration, shall address remarks only to the commission, and shall refrain from making personal attacks on any other speaker. The presiding officer may refuse a speaker the right to continue if, after first being cautioned, the speaker continues to violate the rules of decorum. You've heard our rules for public hearings. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing for case number 2017 Z as in Zebra -015-11. Let's not all speak at once, commissioners.
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that we open the public hearing. All in favor sound aye. All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Is the applicant present this evening? David Fotzer? Yes. Would you please approach the podium, state your first and last name and your current address?
First name is David, last name's Fotzer, and my mailing address is 1172 Caprice Drive in Powder Springs.
Okay. You can present your case.
Okay. I agree with what the council came up with. So for the people that are watching and for the council as well that weren't at the other meeting, I've got a triplex home located at East Washington Avenue. I've owned other properties in East Point, so I'm somewhat starting to be familiar with the area. I've got a construction background to where it is a triplex, and I'm trying to get it rezoned back to a triplex. So once it is approved, it will be renovated and whatnot. Do I have to answer any questions?
No, it's a public hearing. We don't have questions at this time. We wouldn't have questions until later in the agenda, but this is your opportunity to present your case to the commission. And so although staff has recommended approval, we may not agree with that. So this is your opportunity to persuade us to go along with that or to give you the decision that you'd like. So there are no questions at this time. It's your opportunity.
Perfect. All right, just ring the bell if I talk too long. So I've got a construction background. So I fell in love with this property. Well, first off, I've been doing real estate now for about 13 years. So when I came across this property, it looks like a triplex. To me, it was a triplex, so I didn't do any previous research to see if it was zoned for a single family or triplex. Unfortunately, when you're doing real world stuff, it's hard to kind of go off a template that say, listen, this is what you have to do to be successful. So I've already bought the property, assuming that it was a triplex. Come to find out, it's actually zoned for a single family, so that's kind of where we're here at now. But from my background, to tell you what I'm capable of doing and tell you what I'm going to do to the property, it's going to be a significant turnaround. I mean, we do new roofs, we do new windows, new kitchen cabinets, granite countertops, so there's a lot of stuff that we bring value to it. Without talking too long, I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to construction. So I would love for y'all to kind of see the before and after. Obviously, it's something that I think you would be pretty impressed with. I try to keep it short. I could talk all day about construction and what I do and whatnot. I think
Is that
that's
all?
it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Fotzer.
Thanks.
Are there any other proponents here to speak to this zoning case? Any other proponents? Anyone else to speak in favor of this case? Are there any opponents here to speak against this zoning case? Any opponents? Seeing none, commissioners, at this time I entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Lovett, that we close the public hearing for this zoning case. All in favor sound aye. All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Staff, would you please sound your recommendation?
In case number 2017Z-015-11, the applicant is David Fotzer. The location is 1307 East Washington Avenue. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning from R1A, urban residential, to R3, multifamily residential, with the following condition. Property must be readdressed. Once new addresses are assigned, the owner will be required to post the property in accordance with Chapter 8, Section 10-8003.
Thank you. Commissioners, you've heard from the applicant, you've heard staff's recommendation. At this time, I entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Tucker.
I would like to make a motion to recommend approval with staff recommendations.
Okay, is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Maxwell, that we recommend approval of this zoning case with staff's recommendation and conditions. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
I have a question.
Yes, Commissioner Lovett.
How long has the property been vacant?
That I don't know, but it looks like it's been vacant for a long time. I mean, there's holes in the roof and stuff like that, so obviously for it to get rezoned back to a single family, I think it had to be vacant for at least a year, but ain't no telling how long it's been vacant. Too long.
Are there any other questions or concerns or comments from the commission? Okay. The motion is to recommend approval with staff's condition. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This body will recommend approval. Thank you, Mr. Fotzer.
Thank you.
Our next agenda item is 2017 Z as in zebra -016-11. Staff, would you please sound this agenda item?
Case number 2017Z-016-11. The applicant is Ready One Renovations USA. The location is 2882 Harris Street. Applicant seeks to rezone the property from R1A, urban residential, to R3, multifamily residential.
Okay, thank you. Is the applicant present this evening for Ready One Renovations?
Yes.
Would you please step to the podium, state your first and last name and your current address?
My name is Drake Thompson, 1581 Bay Hill Drive, Duluth, Georgia.
Okay.
Awesome. I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come speak today. I'm looking to rezone a sixplex unit that was designed in the 60s. It was originally a sixplex. It has not changed since then. I'm looking to rezone it back to a six-unit complex, multifamily. It has probably been vacant for over 2 years. We are going back with completely new internals. It's going to be a completely new, fresh building. This quadrant of, the block in East Point has been somewhat dilapidated. And what we are looking to do is make this property that used to be, boarded up, fresh and new and attractive on the street. This does fit into East Point's comprehensive plan, goal 5 and 7. And hopefully this will accommodate new investment in the area and improve the property values in the area. We don't look to do anything that's out of the norm, but we really just want a brand new, fresh, 6-unit building. That's it.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents here to speak to this zoning case? Any other proponents? Anyone here to speak in favor other than the applicant? Okay, seeing none. Is there anyone here to speak against this zoning case? Any opponents to this zoning case here to speak this evening? Seeing none, commissioners, at this point, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
So moved by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Lovett, that we close the public hearing. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Staff, would you please sound your recommendations?
In case number 2017-016-11, the applicant is Ready One Renovations USA. The location is 2882 Hare Street. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning from R1A, urban residential, to R3, multifamily residential, with the following conditions. Applicant shall obtain applicable permits and inspections for all unpermitted work. Water service shall be upgraded to include either a new master water meter or individual water meter for each unit with proper backflow devices. Sewer service will require 2 sewer cleanouts, one at building and one at the exit property at the street.
Okay. All right, commissioners, you've heard from the applicant. You've also heard staff's recommendations and its conditions. At this time, I entertain a motion.
I move that the applicants, what is the number? 2017-016-11 be approved.
Okay. Is that your recommendation, Commissioner Lovett?
Yes,
Is that what staff's conditions?
with staff's conditions.
Okay. There's a motion by Commissioner Lovett to recommend approval of this zoning case with staff's conditions. Is there a second?
I'd like to second that, please.
Okay, it's been seconded by Commissioner Miller. Thank you. So there's a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Lovett, second by Commissioner Miller. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? I have some.
Yes.
I want to go back to staff's conditions. And I don't really know how we do this for the record, but for the first zoning case, they're both rezonings from R1A to R3. The conditions are different, however. So for the first zoning case that we just heard, there was one condition about readdressing. Okay? For the second one, I did not hear that. Is the second one required to readdress as well?
From what we see in our system, that the addresses for the first property on Washington Avenue, they had an ABC or something that is not a numerical address system. But on Harris Street, 2882 Harris Street, there is an address system that's in place that is a numerical, and that's what we require for new addresses at multifamily residential properties. So that's the reason for the difference in conditions.
Okay. And then there were also some conditions for this one that required some things around sewer and water. Are those things not applicable for the first zoning case for this evening?
Our water and sewer department didn't note any specific conditions for the first zoning case.
Gotcha. So those came from department?
Water and sewer. Mhm.
Yes. Okay. All right. The other question that I have is of the applicant. Can you just tell us a little bit about the level of upgrades or renovations that you're proposing to do for the structure at 2882 Harris Street?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the units have torn out plumbing, torn out electrical, and no mechanicals. So what we're looking to go back with is new hot water heaters, upgraded panels, all electric units. Everything will be new in the unit. So all the kitchens will be new, all the appliances will be new. The kitchen will go back with tile. The main floor, we're going to go with a laminate flooring. All the bathrooms will obviously be redone. There are no, there's no toilet, there's no tub in there now, so everything will go back new. The bathroom will be tile. The shower surrounds are going to be tile all the way to the ceiling. So the level of upgrades, it's going to be a very new, fresh unit.
Exterior?
So we actually started the exterior work before we were notified. So it has fresh paint. Some of the balconies were falling down, so we've replaced them with Romeo and Juliet balconies. All the windows will be replaced. Currently, there's a container out there with all new windows that are going to be upgraded, to current energy efficiencies. The parking lot was in disarray, so we're going to go back and reseal the parking lot where all the cracks are. The grass has also grown over the cement quite a bit, so we're going to repair that as well.
Proposed price points for renting? What's the mix? Are they 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 1s, 3 2s? What are they?
Yeah, absolutely. So the unit mixes, there are 2 1 bedrooms, 1 1, and then there are 4 2 bedrooms, which are 2 1s.
Okay, so there are 2 1 1s and 4 2 1s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And your price points for rent?
Yeah, after a conversation last week, we're really going to test the market and see what we can attain. But the 1 bedroom, I think, would best case after the rehab would probably be $800. Best case for the 1 bedroom. And after reviewing the 2 bedrooms, I think that we're going to probably test the market at $950 is where we're going to start it at. We do think with the rental demand in the area that they will move relatively quickly. If that is the case, we will absolutely hold it to that number.
What'd you say the price point for the 1 bedroom?
I said max would be $800. I think we're going to test the market at like $775.
Okay, all right. Okay. Commissioners, do you have any other questions of the applicant?
I don't really have a question as much as just want to say thank you. I appreciate what you're doing with this building, and you as well. And you did bring the rendering at the work session, and it looks great. So I wish you all the best with this building.
Thank you.
I do have one question. Is there any shared space in the complex?
That's a really good question. No, there's not. So there are they have the breezeways is the only shared space in the complex.
All right. Any other questions? He made the motion. Maxwell, second. Was it Maxwell? No, it was Miller. Okay, all right. Commissioners, we've got a motion on the floor to recommend approval with staff's conditions. The motion was made by Commissioner Lovett, seconded by Commissioner Miller. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This body recommends approval. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Our next agenda item is 2017 Z as in Zebra -018-11. Staff, would you please sound this agenda item?
Case number 2017Z-018-11. The applicant is Caleb Barber. The location is 3075 Washington Road. Applicant seeks to rezone a subdivided portion of the property from R3 multifamily residential to C1 neighborhood commercial.
Okay. Commissioners, at this time, I entertain a motion to open the public hearing for this zoning case.
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner McKnight, that we open the public hearing. All in favor sound aye.
Aye.
All opposed, sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now open. Is Mr. Barber present this evening?
Yes.
Would you please step to the podium, state your first and last name and your current address?
Caleb Barber, 1303 High Tower Trail, Suite 101, Atlanta, Georgia, 30350.
Okay.
Lauren Clayton, attorney on behalf of Meridian Management Group with Wilson, Brock, and Irby, 2849 Paces Ferry Road, Suite 700, Atlanta, Georgia, 30339. May I approach the commissioners?
I'm sorry?
May I approach?
Yes.
I have them both.
Okay. And make sure that the staff have these as well. Okay, yes, we need these for the official record so that staff can have, would you, Jones? Yes, if you would give that to staff, please, the extra one. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, y'all. I think a lot of you are familiar with the Lexington Apartments facing Washington Road. The address is 3075 Washington Road. We submitted a plat to subdivide what we're going to call 3073 Washington Road, and that is a small parcel where the leasing office is located. You'll find on that front picture, that's the leasing office that fronts Washington Road. To the west of it and behind it are all of the apartment buildings. This building was purchased by Meridian Management Group. It was formerly operated by Jamco since 2004. A consultation of the Haynes Directory indicates that at some point in time, for many, many years, there were businesses located in, if you look at the photographs, you'll see two doors that I took photographs of. Those are the doors in the middle of the building and on the east side of the building. And those actually currently contain vacant spaces that were once used for insurance companies and financial companies. Those have not been operated since the early 90s, so we can't grandfather this in as a non-conforming use. It's currently zoned residential, so we cannot have tenants in those vacant spaces, and the new management group does not have any need for them for the management of the apartment complex because they have the leasing office, and they also use the old clubhouse for all of their maintenance facility. So currently, this is essentially wasted space and is economic waste, and the proposal is to just simply do an adaptive reuse of these spaces so that they can be commercially viable again. We do conform with both the existing zoning in terms of the pattern surrounding. The zoning here is a little bit of an anomaly because of the apartments, but if you look at everything else fronting Washington Road on the east and west side of this building, it is all commercial. Additionally, we do also conform with the future land use map, which would be neighborhood center, which includes both C1 and R3 development patterns, and more importantly, the adaptive reuse function, which is what we're trying to do here. So once we get a rezoning of this property, we can move forward with platting it out to be 3073 Washington Road. It will still house the leasing office, but it will also be renovated for additional office space for approximately 3 to 5 different businesses, depending on how large those businesses are. And again, we're talking about sort of office-y type businesses, so things like financial services companies, insurance companies, real estate offices, and the like. And again, we're not looking to do any new construction externally to the building. This is just going to be an internal renovation. So basically, nothing is changing. It's just that we have to change the zoning to actually use the space. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Are there any other proponents here to speak to this zoning case? Any other proponents? Are there any opponents here to speak against this zoning case? Any opponents? Seeing none, commissioners, at this time I entertain a motion to close the public hearing. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner McKnight, seconded by Commissioner Miller, that we close the public hearing. All in favor sound aye. Aye. All opposed, sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. The public hearing is now closed. Staff, would you please sound your recommendation?
In case number 2017Z-018-11, the applicant is Caleb Barber. The location is 3075 Washington Road. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning from the subdivided portion of the property from R3 multifamily to C1 neighborhood commercial with the following conditions. Rezoning of subdivided portion of subject parcel 3075 Washington Road is contingent upon approval of minor plat. Subject parcel shall be subdivided in accordance with Chapter 4, Section 10-4005 and Section 10-4006.
Is that all? Commissioners, you've heard from the applicant. You've also heard staff's recommendation. At this time, I entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Tucker?
I would recommend approval with staff recommendations.
Okay. Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Lovett, that this body recommends approval with staff's conditions. Any comments, questions, or concerns?
I actually did have, oh, go ahead.
I have one comment, Mr. Chair. In looking at the wording of the staff condition, I think perhaps we may need to reword it somewhat. And, as legal counsel, I would recommend that rather than as worded by staff, that it be recommended for approval with the following conditions, and that condition number 1 read as follows. Rezoning of the subdivided portion is contingent upon subdivision per the preliminary plat dated October 30th, 2017, and filed with the zoning application. No new uses will be permitted until the subdivision is approved and recorded in Fulton County real estate records and properly readdressed. The reason for that correction is that we have a 3075 Washington Road. We are carving out a portion that will have a different zoning classification than some other portions of 3075 Washington Road, should this zoning go through. And so we want to make it very clear that this parcel has to be subdivided out from 3075 and a new address assigned, and that the plat has to be approved before any new uses can go on the site.
Okay. Commissioner Tucker, do you accept?
Yeah, I would amend my motion to reflect the recommendation of the staff attorney for the wording on the staff recommendation.
And Commissioner Lovett, does your second still stand?
It does.
Okay, thank you. And did you have any additional questions or comments?
I didn't, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, y'all.
Okay. So any other comments, questions, or concerns, Commissioners? There's a motion on the floor to recommend approval for case number 2017 Zebra-018-11 with staff's condition as restated by the attorney. And it's been moved by Commissioner Tucker, seconded by Commissioner Lovett. All in favor sound aye. All opposed sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This agenda item is recommended approval. The next item on the agenda are announcements. Staff, do you have any announcements for this evening?
No, just to, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and a very happy new year.
Okay, thank you. I would like to say on behalf of this body, every single commissioner for the East Point Planning and Zoning Commission, those who are present and those who are not with us, and that would include Commissioner Borders, Commissioner Fan, Commissioner Lovett, Commissioner Maxwell, Commissioner Miller, Commissioner McKnight, Commissioner Sheldon, Commissioner Tucker, and myself, Sean Atkins, as the chair, that we wish all of the citizens of East Point a very safe and happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all of those wonderful things for this very joyous time of the year. With that, if there are no other announcements, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
Is there a second? It's been moved by Commissioner Maxwell, second by Commissioner Miller, that we adjourn our December 21st, 2017 meeting. All in favor sound aye. All opposed, sound nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.